Welcome! This video is my first in a 4-part series on making a permanent do-it-yourself repair to a serious basement foundation problem. In this episode, we'll conduct an initial assessment of some basement foundation damage as it relates to my sister-in-law's home gutter system and exterior flower bed in the vicinity of her major water leakage and damaged basement wall shown below on the right. Using the Let's Fix It Right approach, you have the potential to save between $5,000 to $15,000 as a do-it-yourselfer instead of contracting an effort similar to this to an expensive foundation restoration company. In episode 34, I'll show how to measure, construct, and install a drain pipe on the roof near the foundation damage. For estimating purposes, these drain pipe components cost approximately $100 at Home Depot. Episode 35 shows you how to design and install a French drain system along the wall and porch areas where rainwater is pooling and contributing to this foundation damage. These drain hoses and attachments cost approximately $200 at Home Depot. And in episode 36, a professional contractor, Mike Anderson, is a guest of the Let's Fix It Right team, will show us how to make a permanent epoxy repair to this serious crack in my sister-in-law's foundation wall. Repair kits with the equipment and tubes of epoxy that our guest contractor uses are available to you on Amazon for approximately $100 to $150. Altogether, this do-it-yourself project total cost was approximately $500 as compared to the $5,000 to $15,000 estimates that you will receive from most foundation contractors. These contractors will want to perform major structural reinforcements to your basement walls, add interior basement drainage lines, sump pumps, etc. In most cases, these contractors will also perform the same epoxy repairs that we performed in episode 36. By the way, our guest contractor, Mike Anderson, is also the president and owner of Tomorrow's Tools. In addition, he invented his patented Mudmore mix ball, which features this information on his tomorrowstools.com website. Mike's mix ball, which he demonstrates in episode 36, is for sale on tomorrowstools.com and Amazon. It's also featured in these YouTube videos at these locations. Our Let's Fix It Right team is now at my sister-in-law Debbie's home to help her permanently eliminate her major problems with foundation damage and water leakage into her basement. We're now down in Debbie's basement. This is the actual foundation damage caused by water flowing down from above, freezing over and over, and generating this crack with water penetrating the wall. As you can see, the majority of it is coming down to here in this 3 to 4 foot area. We also determined that we suspect that the previous owner attempted to patch a foundation crack near the bottom and covered this area with drywall so the house would pass inspection just prior to Debbie buying the home. In addition, this fracture is most likely not from a footing failure below her concrete wall. Her damage appears to be exclusively due to water damage with follow-on ice-generated cracks that typically run through a basement wall due to stress concentrations and forces from expanding ice within the crack. The distance from the center of this damage to the outside edge of her basement wall is 27.5 feet. With this information, we'll try to determine the exact point of entry on the outside of the front of the house from above to where the water is draining down to here in the basement. Debbie's future son-in-law, Eric, and I determined that the 27.5 foot distance from the edge of the house is located here. Looking directly above, this location corresponds to the corner of the roof that meets this gable that does not have a drain pipe. Later, both Debbie and Eric told me that during heavy rains, they always see water gushing down from this part of the roof to the rocks in the flower bed next to the front of the house to where the water is getting into the basement. Furthermore, Eric and I water tested this drain pipe using a garden hose to fill the drain pipe, running above the front window, along the edge of the garage, and draining out here. All of the water that we pumped into the drain pipe did exit here. No water flowed over the edge of the drain pipe, thereby proving that it was working properly. To exacerbate the problem of the gable not having drain pipes, Debbie's flower bed appears to be improperly installed with respect to the top of the foundation and the start of her brick wall. As you can see, these rocks are above the seam where the foundation meets the first layer of bricks. This could enable water to leak between this seam down onto the basement foundation wall. When we dig up some of these rocks, I suspect there's some plastic material under them. I also suspect that water is rushing over the edge of the open gable on the roof. It then pools and fills up most of the flower bed, which turns into a small pond because the plastic material is holding the water in place. Water then flows over the top of the plastic material and rocks through the seam into the basement below. Once again, this is happening because the landscaping was installed too high. There are two immediate solutions that we are looking at for the outside of Debbie's house. Number one is to install drain pipes on the open gable roof to move water away from her house before it can pour down on the ground, pool next to her outside wall, flood the basement, and add to the crack damage. Solution two is to install a French drain or easy drain from Home Depot. To correct Debbie's high rock flower bed insulation, Eric and I will lower the level of rock a couple of inches adjacent to the outside front wall by removing the dirt below. We'll then install a French drain immediately below the surface of the rocks to capture rainwater and quickly move it away from her house before it can rise and penetrate the seam between her brick and the top of her foundation. We'll most likely run the drain from this corner next to the edge of the garage along the front wall of Debbie's house to this area, turn 90 degrees and bring it out to the edge of her sidewalk and place an exit drain here. If we can't get enough downward slope, we may have to tunnel under her sidewalk to this location for the exit drain. Solution 3 is epoxy repair to Debbie's foundation wall that you will see Mike implement in episode 36. This concludes this episode on how to perform an initial assessment of major foundation damage caused by water leakage. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and select the YouTube bell so YouTube will notify you of all my new projects immediately after I publish them. At this time, I'm moving on to my next project. You're more than welcome to follow. In addition, if you have a great project that you want to post on my YouTube channel, email me some pictures and a brief description of it. If it qualifies for the Let's Fix It Right standards to help others, I'll interview you over the phone as a guest do-it-yourselfer, produce a high-quality video, and post it on my Let's Fix It Right channel. For the year following this posting, I'll share 50% of the potential YouTube benefits with you. If you have any subject matter requests or recommendations, please contact me. All of this said, I recommend that you subscribe to my channel, follow my projects, and save a bundle of money doing it.